is it realistic to use this the sprint if some members on the team are not on the same location? Like for example, the designer is in New York and he can only assist by online.
Yeah, it is realistic actually, and I've kind of come around on this. In the book, I was pretty. I think we have like an FAQ at the back, and I was pretty negative on this idea because it's really hard. I mean, it is hard. Like being on video, even just being on video and trying to keep track in your brain of all the people who are around the table, virtually around the table, is just taxing. It's exhausting for me. So, and I facilitated some sprints and been a part of sprints that were remote. And it's hard work, but it can be done if you use the right tools and if you have a good plan. And actually, I don't know, is Robert still around?
Robert? Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Robert, would you be willing to just say a few words about how you do the global sprint?
Maybe last question because we are right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the last question we'll do here, although we can do some questions there, right?
Yeah,
But we're arriving at the place.
Rain,
Yeah, in the rain.
Hi everybody. Hi, how you doing? Hey. So the Global Virtual Design Sprint was something we did in April. It basically took the hypothesis that you could take the design sprint process and put it in a virtual environment. But what we wanted to do was not just do it for a week, we wanted to open it up for a whole month and include both people that practice design sprints as well as people that were brand new to it. With the help of other companies, we brought in some people to do a webinar to kind of give an idea of what it was about. Long story short, we ended up doing about 19 to 20 virtual design sprints throughout the month that involved about 170 people. There were about 350 signups. And we're doing another one in October. But the main thing is that we're just basically showcasing that you can do it in person. There's a lot of value in that, but there's also value in doing it virtually. And we're partnering with a lot more people this time around in October, and it's scaring me. But we'll give it our best shot. But if any of you have any questions about it, feel free to talk to me.
Just real quick, what tools do you use? What's
the default ones that we used for the April session were Mural, the whiteboarding tool, Zoom for collaboration for connecting people in different countries, though we had to use GoToMeeting because of some limitations on VoIP for certain countries. And then from there, it just depended on the team. Some used WhatsApp for communication. Slack was one we used for kind of like default communication. And then it just kind of cascaded from there. But essentially those three tools between Zoom, Slack, and Mural were the three that we used.
Are those the ones you would use like next time if you were to do it over again?
Probably. Mural's thinking about doing sponsorship, and we're going to explore some other tools that come up for to test prototyping, Proto.io, and some other ones, Marvel, just to see where people are at and kind of test out new technologies.
How do you structure the days? How much do you have to plan how you're going to break up the activities so that, how does that work? Are people online the whole time, like a whole sprint day?
No, so the way we try to fashion it so that they would have at least at the maximum 10 to 15 hours of online time because they have their regular job, they have their offline commitments to family and so on.
Yeah.
So we try to be respectful of that. So there's only Monday and Tuesday, which are the more intensive collaboration days. Those were anywhere from like 3 to 4 hours at most. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday were limited just as check-ins. People working on the prototype did all their offline work. But a lot of the collaboration was done through Slack, through WhatsApp, and kind of getting together when they needed to. And people were very respectful of other people's schedules and their time, so it wasn't like you have to be here. But the really interesting thing is that we were able to maximize the amount of people that get involved. So at one point, I was putting anywhere from 12 to 13 people on one sprint team. And normally you would want to dissect those out to basically do different ones. But because schedules were so disparate, they were still able to collaborate offline and get together and do a lot of work and make a really quality prototype. And there's some people like, I think Sabrina, right back here, was somebody that did the pilot as well as the one in April. Jerome, he's somewhere here too. There's people that participate in this and they can tell you all about it as well. Yeah, right there. But it was really interesting to see. No?
Rob, actually we have a little surprise for you.
What?
Thank you. I just take the opportunity to thank you in the name of everybody from the community. We are more than, I think, like 300 people, and we collected money to support coming to Paris.
Stop.
Yes, and we collected 400 euros. He didn't just only supported us in this virtual design sprint, but also he featured everybody or a lot of people in after that, after the event, with giving us awards and highlighting everybody in the social media. So this is also something, and he's always in the back. So this is we want to highlight you now.
Okay.